Well guys, the Burger King is dead. Long live the Burger King. Well, not quite. After almost 7 years with TSM, the Great Dane Bjergsen himself is set to leave the mid lane forever and take up his new role as TSM's head coach. If it goes well, he could become even more of a legend. If it goes badly though, it could tarnish his legacy forever. Bjergsen has made his decision, but is it really the right move? Alright then guys, before we get into this one, I just want to point you very quickly to the subscribe button. Make sure you are subscribed. Leave us a comment if you have any good ideas for future videos on the channel, and you can also contact us at tips@thescore.com. Less than 8 weeks ago, Bjergsen led TSM to their 7th LCS title. He seemed unstoppable. It looked like he was back on the North American throne after 2 years of wandering through lackluster rosters and dwindling expectations. But let's be honest here for a moment. TSM were soundly crushed at Worlds, flying home without a single win under their belt. But other than the severity of the losses, nobody was too surprised that they didn't make it out of groups. It seemed like business as usual for most NA fans, and so business was expected to continue as normal into the off-season and beyond. Not for Bjergsen though. He dropped a bombshell in a TSM announcement video on Saturday.
I'm here to talk about the fact that I'm retiring as a professional player and stepping into the head coach role for TSM.
So the end to his playing career might actually be the biggest news of the LCS off-season, and the North American teams at Worlds have barely finished unpacking yet. Looking at people's reactions so far, we've seen shock, we've seen accolades, and we've seen a whole bunch of well-wishing. And don't get me wrong, this guy seriously deserves it. Some pretty big names in the scene have been very quick to show their support for him, names including Yamato Cannon, Loco Doco, and even Doublelift himself.
I think he's going to do a great job.
I think Bjergsen is going to be an amazing coach.
I think he'll make a great coach. I am really looking forward to working with him because I know he's really smart about the game and he's really committed.
This could prove to be a genius move, but make no mistake here, it is a calculated risk. But before we get into talking about how this could all go wrong, let's look at why this could be a big brain move. Bjergsen is a leader, we all know it. Being the de facto captain of TSM means that his leadership skills should be transferable to the coaching role. He knows how to rally a team around him. He's had his back against the wall countless times, and he's always come out swinging.
Dive coming through, TP's gonna show up. Can Dignitas actually go for this? Dardoch is underneath the turret, but now he's gonna be zero. Oh no, Dignitas! Everything goes wrong, and I mean everything.
To have this kind of experience in a coach is honestly invaluable. To be able to relate to his players like this, to know what it's like to play on the biggest stages in the world and to have felt exactly what they're feeling. Bjergsen has an almost encyclopedic level of game knowledge and, more importantly, the ability to impart that to others as well. Time and time again, we've heard from Bjergsen's teammates that he's not only really good at the game, he's a natural teacher too. On top of that, Bjergsen could be a real draw for top talent. Look, you could be the best coach in the whole world, but if you don't have the right talent, it ain't gonna work. Bjergsen could draw the best in the business to TSM simply by virtue of his name. And I don't just mean the players either. I'm talking GMs, I'm talking assistant coaches, role coaches, the lot. Before a prospective player ever gets to throw on a team jersey and see what playing for a team is actually like, all they have to go on is a team's good name and their legacy. Bjergsen will have that in abundance. Okay, so talking like this, it's easy to get carried away, at least for me, and see this as a move with zero downsides at all. But the question is Bjergsen really ready for this? Sure, playing experience goes a long way, but it's not the one and only thing that makes a good coach. You only have to look at traditional sports to see proof of this. Wayne Gretzky, for example, the great one, he couldn't pass on his greatness to the Phoenix Coyotes no matter how hard he tried. Magic Johnson had a brief but pretty dismal stint coaching the Lakers before he threw in the towel. And even then, it's not just any old team he's taking the reins of, it's the exact same team he was just on. That means it's the exact same people, but now with very different work relationships. And that brings us very nicely to the absolute elephant in the room. Bjergsen is set to become Doublelift's coach, an authoritative figure to him, whichever way you look at it. They've been friends, they've been rivals, they've been teammates, they've been a lot of different things to each other over the years, but they've never had this dynamic. And Doublelift even said on stream that he actually considered retiring when he heard the news.
I was like writing my retirement speech for a few days, and I was thinking about, wow, it's crazy, you know, if me and Soren both retire, how crazy is that going to be for LCS?
Now, TSM could decide to blow up their whole roster and start fresh. If they don't though, Bjergsen will have to navigate already established relationships in an entirely different way. Relationships are often messy and complicate things, and it could get a whole lot more complicated between these two given the new circumstances. So clearly, there is a lot on the line here, but my question is, does there actually need to be? Hear me out for a second. People become coaches because they want to lead a team. They want to influence its direction. They want to be a major part of its success. Which of those things did Bjergsen not already have as a player? He wasn't some sort of frustrated rookie desperate to steer the ship. Bjergsen has two hands on the wheel already, and he clearly has a pretty big say in who comes and who goes through the rotating TSM roster door. When he became part owner of TSM last year, it seemed like he had it all. He had influence over their business decisions, the team's direction, and how they play the game. So what is he really gaining here from moving to a coaching position? Careers, friendships, the team's success. There is a lot hanging in the balance here for Bjergsen, but perhaps the most delicate of them all is his legacy. 502 LCS games, 10 LCS finals, 6 LCS championships, and 4-time LCS MVP. Bjergsen has been building a monumental legacy to himself, brick by hard-earned brick, over the past 7 years. There are times that it's taken a knock, but he's always fought back and reached even greater heights. Perhaps the greatest height of all was his most recent and now final LCS win as a player in summer 2020.
As the Nexus falls, TSM claim LCS title number 7.
That right there is the lasting memory that most fans would have of him if he bowed out of the competitive scene forever. But now, what if he coaches TSM off a cliff? What if Reggie opens his checkbook to bring in established stars and give rookies a chance to help build Bjergsen's perfect team, and he blows it? Will history smile kindly on him? I'm not trying to be a doomsayer here. It's easy to say that Bjergsen's reputation as the GOAT of NA will forever be untarnished, but how much of that is based on the here and now? Fans can be fickle. That's just the nature of the game. Bjergsen knows more than anyone this won't be easy. He won't become the next Coma overnight, and was the first to acknowledge the challenge ahead in the announcement video.
I can't promise that I'm going to be the perfect coach right away, and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, but I hope that you guys know me and that you know my mindset, and that every day I'm going to do my best to improve, even if I fail, even if I make mistakes. And I hope that in the long run I can be the best head coach that TSM can ever find.
If Bjergsen has rushed into this, if the team dynamics just don't work, if the players buckle under the pressure of not letting him down, then his legacy could be in real danger. It's a risk. It could cement Bjergsen in the Hall of Fame as not only one of the greatest players to ever grace the North American stage, but one of its finest leaders and strategists too. However, those saying that this is a risk worth taking might be the wolves at the door if it all goes wrong. But Bjergsen didn't get to the level he's at by not taking risks. He reached this level by daring when others dared not. And perhaps this is his greatest gamble yet. Yeah, maybe my ultimate dream is that TSM win a single game at Worlds. I'm kidding. We did that in 2014 once, 6 years ago. So it's all good. It's all good. Also, shout out to Jack, my good friend Jack. He predicted that this would happen about a week before the announcement. I don't know how he did it, but yeah, thanks to him. Bjergsen has 2 wheels on the hand. 2 wheels, for fuck's sake.